What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Big Dog Brett, thanks so much for tuning in. So glad you guys are here. So tonight, well, it's Friday night. Didn't have a show earlier in the week. Life's been crazy. Lots of new events going on around the big dog's house. So got some stuff we're going to be starting on tomorrow. We'll get you guys up to speed on some of that. A lot actually going on in the off season this season. So many coaching changes, so much to really get into as far as what we've seen. But there's something else I want to bring up. I know some of you guys are watching this after the fact. You guys are going to be messing around on your Saturday, just kind of enjoying your Saturday. Got the radio on, got YouTube on in the background, and I am very thankful to be part of that event for you. So whatever that is, thanks for including me. Appreciate it. Okay, so we've got the news update of Gunner Stockton. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about what's going on over at South Carolina with Gamecocks coach Shane Beamer. Also, some actually Clemson football news I want to bring up for you guys, as well as UT continuing to lose more staff. So I got a few people in the stream already this morning. Of course, we're going to say a shout out to Between the Trenches. How you doing, sir? Emmett N. How are you? Sephiroth, thank you. Good to see you here, sir. And also thank you for the follow on Twitter. What's going on, James? Welcome back to the channel, sir. Always glad to have you here. So for those of you who are watching after the fact, I want to let you guys know me and Between the Trenches has started a podcast called Third and a Mile. You guys can reach out to us and find that on Twitter. It's basically just a podcast. If you guys like podcasts, something he wanted to enjoy. What's going on, Devote? And Sean Stapleton, how's it going, sir? I want to let you guys know that that is there for you guys if you're into podcasts. So me and him kind of get into some stuff back and forth, kind of discuss what's going on in the college football community. First episode's already up. Second episode is going to be up soon. We've actually already made it. Just got to upload it, doing a little bit of video editing. We'll get that guys up for you tomorrow. So appreciate you guys for being here, supporting us, and doing all of the stuff you guys do for us. Really appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad it's Friday too, man. It has been such a long week. So man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Something I do want to bring up real quick. I put it Tennessee here, apparently, since they have hired hula hoop, what's his name? Josh Hip Hop Anonymous. I don't know. Anyway, the new coach at Tennessee apparently is dealing with a loss of more staff. Looks like they've lost a couple of more staff members. Don't really know the reasons why, but it certainly looks like they're continuing their rebuild even in the coaching staff. What's going on, Zafang? Nice to see you in here, sir. Hope I said your name right. If not, I'll work on it next time. But Tennessee continues to try to replace players. Josh Hupel. I'm not sure how you say that guy's name. I don't even think he knows. Those of you who don't know, UCF's coach Josh Hupel was named Tennessee Volunteers head coach. He's taken over that position. They recently hired a new AD, then they quickly hired Josh. Josh has had a declining record at UCF ever since Scott Frost left. I think last season he was like 6-4 or something. Not a great showing. Not sure what he's going to do. A lot of people are trying to tout him as being a great choice. Sir, if you are struggling in the conference that UCF is in, I can't imagine what you're going to do in the SEC, sir. That's just, yeah. That's yeah. Don't know what that guy is going to do. What's going on, Lee GB, Georgia Boy, Boomer? How about it, sir? And Stray Dog, a couple of our illustrious members in here between the trenches, James Willoughby and Stray Dog. If you want to, you can also be a member. There's a join button down here. You can find it somewhere. It's highlighted. They want you to join. Feel free to join that. And we do members-only streams. We don't have a whole ton of members right now, but the more members we have, the more often we'll do that. Anytime we roll out something new for the channel, I usually like to bring it out to the members-only section first, get you guys' thoughts, feelings, comments, criticisms, and sarcasms before we take it live. So you can see the setup now. I actually changed the bulb here. It was a small change, so I didn't bother updating it. But we've got the Purple Derp over here, and we got the Blues Clues over here, so we're doing pretty good on that. All right, guys, so let's see here. All right, other big news. We'll get into Gunner Stockton here in a little bit. But the other thing I want to talk about is Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer is the new head football coach, new for this season. He's been there for pretty much since right after the season ended. Shane Beamer is losing running back coach Des Kitchings. It's Kitchings. I don't make up these people's names. He's trying to narrow down the search. Oh, by the way, Jim Chaney was one of the guys that got let go from UT, so they're looking for a new offensive coordinator. We'll see how that pans out. Beamer officially announced. Des Kitchens was officially announced as the running back coach for the Atlanta Falcons. So a no-brainer for him to leave South Carolina to go play for the Falcons. I'm not really sure which one of those teams are better. I'll leave that up for you guys to decide over in the comment section. But as far as I'm concerned, hey, good for him. Probably a little bit more money. Beamer said there is a lot of interest for sure. There's no lack of interest. He said this in like one sentence. To me, that's almost like, yeah, we're perfectly fine. Yeah, perfectly fine here. We're all good. Everything's fine. Just glad. Yeah, we're happy and dandy. Everything's great. It couldn't be more from the truth falling apart. Hey, man, they gotta figure out something. What's going on, Crimson Brave? LSU hired Blake Baker from Miami. Well, you do what you got to do, man. I don't. Between the Trenches says join and hit the thumbs up. It's worth it. I agree with that, sir. He's absolutely correct. And when you get a chance, go join his channel as well. He has a brand new intro that he stumbled across. I like what he's doing over there in that channel. You guys go check him out. He talks a lot of football. He actually gets into some of the NFL stuff. I don't really get into the NFL stuff, but pretty soon here, we're also going to be getting into some of the baseball stuff. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I do like baseball, but I'm not a huge fan. So when I started watching Georgia, I wasn't a huge fan when I started watching Georgia. And then the more I watched it, the more I got into it. But I'm really looking forward to this upcoming baseball season because I really want to go to some games. I'm really excited about getting out and about. So, oh, by the way, we're also going to go over today some of the college football schedules. We're going to talk about who's got what and what we think about it. So if you've got a team that you want us to review the schedule, throw it over here in the comments section. We're going to post the link here in a little bit. Feel free to join, and we're going to talk about what we think is going to be the best schedules, best teams to play. We already know the best opening game of the season. We don't have to talk about it. It ain't even close. We all know. And I got something to say about that. Matter of fact, I got something to say about somebody else that had something to say about it. So hang tight. We'll get to that in a little bit. Sean Stapleton says, go Braves. Yes, sir. Alex Dingy, how you doing, sir? Just found out Big Benny might not be coming back due to cap reasons. Are you talking about a scholarship cap? I thought everybody got a pass, man. What's going on, Dave? Crimson Brave over here. He's all about Bama. You know what? You got to respect Crimson Brave, right? Because this guy will go to every channel, everybody's channel. He doesn't care if it's Georgia, Florida, Miami, Tennessee, LSU. He doesn't care. He's going to show up in your channel. He's going to tell you, bow down to Bama. He goes to them all, so got to respect the hustle there, man. Absolutely. All right, guys. So I found an article that was posted, and man, it has just been rubbing me the wrong way ever since I read it. I'm gonna give it to you guys. This guy's name is Jeff Benedict. You can follow him over on Twitter at JB_MCMLXXX. I don't know why he couldn't find something a little simpler. Hey, that's okay. He's a Clemson fan. So let's go over what he said. SEC announced their 2021 football schedule Wednesday, and UGA will, in fact, kick off the season in Charlotte against Clemson. That gives UGA 219 days from the time this was published to get their excuses ready. We all know it's coming. We all know plenty of SEC fans who make excuses every time their conference loses a big game. What? Are you smoking crack? Thanks, Savage Dog. I did a little work in the off season here between the last show and this show, spouting long streams of continuous, uninterrupted, unabated profanity at this camera until it decided to act right. So we got it there, but I appreciate it. Glad you guys like the color. I like the color better when it does this, and I don't look like a version of the Hulk or a version of some guy with some serious jaundice. So yeah. Mr. Clemson Tiger football fan, man. Didn't y'all just get the hell beat out of y'all by somebody that got the hell beat out of them by Alabama? Y'all already up here beating your chest. Come on, Clemson, man. Y'all got to do better than that. Listen, you will not find an article out there where Georgia's going to say anything to the caliber of, well, Clemson's got 219 days to come up with an excuse. Have some class, gentlemen. Did they stop serving that up there in Carolina? Good night. Listen, I mean, I ain't trying to brag or nothing, but I believe the last time Georgia played Clemson, we beat them. So let's say UGA versus Clemson, all-time record. See. Oh, what? All-time series, Georgia leads 42-18-4. Sir, we could lose the next 20 games straight to y'all. We'd still lead the series. Oh, these Clemson fans, they salty about it, y'all. They salty. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. These folks out here lost their mind. Listen, Georgia is going to play football, and we ain't here to make excuses. And I just think it's funny how he doesn't say Georgia fans make excuses. He says SEC fans make excuses. Well, I'm sure Carolina does. I'm sure they do. Let me see. What teams has Clemson played? SEC teams has they played recently? They ain't played but a couple. They still salty because they got their butts kicked in the playoffs. I believe that's true, dog. I mean, I'd be pretty upset about it too, man. So, you was asking about, hey, what's going on, Rodney Coils? So UGA gets a new DB coach, right? For those of you who don't know, they hired Jamal Addy as the new defensive backs coach for Georgia. He was the defensive backs coach at West Virginia. And West Virginia had the #1 pass defense in the nation. If you guys want to, kind of keep up on this stuff as quick as it comes out, you can follow me over on Twitter. The information is right here at the bottom of the screen. Twitter at UGA, Big Dog Brett. I probably need to update that banner. I'm lazy sometimes, guys. Good to be here. Good to have you here, sir. Bobby Durkins is still crying. I bet he is, man. I bet he is. So Addy started as a safety at with the Mountaineers when he played ball in 02-05. And believe it or not, the last game he played was in the Sugar Bowl in 2005 against Georgia. West Virginia led the nation in pass defense, allowing only 159 yards per game. And by the way, they played Clemson. So they have a pretty stout defensive backs room. Now, the next thing we want to talk about, and I need to put the link up here. I'm really, really happy with this hire. The guy's really, really good. He's played the position in recent memory. He's not one of these guys that's so old he can't get out there on the field. But there's a string of Leam Yard. Selling my math water again. I'm telling you what. So there's a link to the stream, guys. If you enjoy the stream, feel free to jump in. Man, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes you open a Coke, right? Or a Dr. Pepper or whatever your favorite soft drink is, and you go, man, that is good. And there's sometimes you open it and you're going, that's a Coke, right? So that is that's what's going on with my drink tonight. I'm enjoying it. Nothing funny about what's in the drink. But yeah. So I'm gonna bring in Trenches here. What's going on, sir? How you doing tonight?
What's up, man?
Same shirt, different day.
Whew. Sorry, just getting back into this. Man, yeah, I definitely think that the Jamil was a great hire, without question.
Yeah, what's going on, Jay Martin? I definitely think he's somebody who's going to do a great job of relating to players, instead of like having players that played back in the early '90s. I think he gets the culture a little better. He's been around it, so I think that would really, really, really help get those guys tuned into him. All right, let's bring in Devoit. How you doing? Tonight, Devoit? Oh, he left.
Guess not.
Guess not. He'll come back. Hey, do me a favor there. Trenches, turn your speakers down there. I'm getting an echo.
I got you.
Are you getting an echo for me?
No. Is that better?
That's better.
All right.
Whew. So yeah, I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff right now going on in the off season. This is probably the most stuff I've seen go on in the off season in 5 or 6 years. So,
yeah.
I mean, Tennessee program is basically rebuilding from the ground up. I think somebody told me something like there's 21 players from Tennessee in the transfer portal. Then they just lost Jim Chaney, which was their offensive coordinator. I think they lost another guy. I don't know who that was. I can't remember off the top of my head. They got a brand new coach, brand new AD. The only thing that's going to be the same next season is the colors. Everything else is going to change. So, that's just crazy.
We'll turn on this real quick.
It's all good, man.
Man, the worst part about really the whole weekend is you really just got to feel awful for South Carolina.
Why is that?
Because they didn't get their tickets to the Gunner show, man.
Oh. You could say it got shot down, huh?
Yeah, big time. Rich gets richer.
Rich keep getting richer. For those of you who don't know, I'm following different types and different kinds of information sources on in the Twitter sphere, as they say. And it's rare for somebody to actually beat me to the news. I usually hear about it pretty quick. So if you want to know what's going on quick, fast, and in a hurry, be tuned in to the Twitter channel and you'll find out quick. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Can't wait for you to go over the top schools in their recruiting classes again. Like OU didn't have enough talent. 3 went to OU. Like OU didn't have enough talent. I can't blame them guys, man. Listen, if you want to show out, you need to be in the arena where the champions are.
Yep.
And OU's got a great football team, and everybody knows you either need to be this coming up year, you need to be one of 4 places. One of 4 places to be prime time. Georgia, no particular order. Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, or Clemson. You need to be in one of those 4 spots. That's where you need to be. Now, Clemson's got a great quarterback. Hey, what's going on, Keith? Clemson's got a great quarterback. So they're probably going to be in the limelight for a little while.
And let's not forget, too, if you're a quarterback, Lincoln Riley's a really good coach to go to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't blame the kid at all.
I don't either. Somebody's blowing my phone up with invites to go play a game. I'm in the middle of doing something. My wife sent me something. All right, so is yes, he is. He absolutely is. Between the trenches.
Yeah, I see it. I'm a Razorback fan. I'm built like one. But no, I'm not. It's so weird.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the I wish there was a button where you could just click it on StreamYard and it would just throw it into the chat, so I don't have to copy and paste this thing every time. Yeah, nice. He's going to step up at Clemson for running back. I would not be surprised if they don't go out and try to find like a grad transfer or find a transfer. I mean, but you're talking about some huge shoes to try and fill. I don't know who they're going to have. I mean, they might have that. They got a freshman that's a 5-star. He might come in and play, but I don't know how good he's going to be. They got Phil Maffa, I think is his name. He's a 4-star running back, but he's a true freshman.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised Eric Gray didn't transfer there.
I could see that. Now, they have DeMarcus Bowman. DeMarcus Bowman is an extremely highly rated running back. He's 5'9", 191 pounds. I don't know, if he's going to be the go-to guy. I don't know if Kobe Pace might step up. He's from Cedartown, Georgia. He's a 3-star, almost a 4-star. So he's certainly not a back running back. But the thing I will tell you is that Dabo really seems to be able to take players and develop them into what he wants them to be. The star status is not as important to him as it might be to some other schools.
Yeah.
DeVoit says, what do you think Brock thinks of Gunner committing? I think he doesn't care. Him and Gunner are both competitors. I will tell you that a lot of people look at it in a couple of different ways. Some people look at it that competition in the locker room is a great thing. Some people look at it as somebody's gonna leave. I will tell you from personal experience, UGA needs to have more than one 5-star quarterback in the locker room at all times.
It's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, we've pretty much managed to do it. I mean, we've pretty much kept 2 5-star quarterbacks in the locker room consistently.
We have. We're in the age of the transfer portal, man. If you don't get to play, and we saw it with Justin Fields, if you're not willing to wait and you don't get to play, you can leave.
Bowman transferred to UF during the season. I didn't know that, P Digits. And where have you been, by the way? I ain't seen you in a hot minute, dude. Christopher Hanley says, will Bryce Young live up to the hype? No.
Yes.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Here's why I say yes, though.
No.
Who's his coach?
Don't care.
He'll do something.
Don't care.
I don't know, man. I've never seen him miss on a quarterback. Even with him, he had somebody like Jalen Hurts. He made it work.
Oh, the team made it work. Jalen Hurts didn't make it work.
We'll see.
You want me to tell you? You want me to tell you the problem with Bryce Young?
Yeah,
it's 5'11".
And Stetson was great for us.
There you go.
That's dirty.
There you go.
That's dirty.
What I think about that.
I don't know, man. I'm never gonna pick against what Saban can do with somebody.
Listen to me now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, a guy that is 5'11" and 183 pounds is not going to be the man at Alabama. He's undersized and he's slow. Tua and Jalen both could move.
Okay.
Mac Jones.
Would they put in? All right, so who would they put in next year if it wasn't Bryce?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I'm telling you right now, if you go watch his highlights, I want you to watch his highlights and don't look at his accuracy because he's crazy accurate, no doubt about it. But if you go watch him play, he looks almost clumsy when he runs. He really does.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall Kyler Murray was, but I can tell you right now, if you just because a player happens to be 5'11 or 5'10 and is a great quarterback, that doesn't mean you can dismiss that stat. Just because a cornerback happens to be 6 foot doesn't mean that he can't be a great cornerback. I'm just telling you that's not the norm. A great cornerback, you see a lot more great gunnerbacks. I can't even talk. You see a lot more great cornerbacks that are 6'1", 6'2" than you do at 5'11".
Yeah.
So same thing at the quarterback position. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the guy's not going to be good. I'm just saying he's not going to be Johnny Manziel. He's not going to be Johnny. It's not going to happen. Sorry. It's just not.
I got you.
So I'm going to look up something here.
You might be right. I don't think he won't be a Heisman contender, but he's on that team, and that team can always find a way to win.
I'm just telling you, I think it's highly unlikely that he goes pro.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying the guy's not good. Not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think that he's going to be the next Tua Tagovailoa. And I think that's what every Alabama player and every Mac Jones. I think you guys got something that you'll almost never get, even for Alabama, which is 3 back-to-back amazing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Jalen took him to a national championship, right? Tua did the same thing, right? And then Mac Jones did the same thing. I know that's a dynasty. Don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you, there just ain't that many quarterbacks out there that work out that well that many times in a row.
Right. I mean, the only other team you can think of is Oklahoma.
Right? And I mean,
the only other team can do it.
Yeah, well, look last year. Look at Spencer Rattler's numbers from last year.
Yeah, he's on his way to become that 4th great one.
But he's not. But he didn't step in this year and throw like Mac Jones did.
No, he didn't. It took about half a year, and then he came alive.
But that's what I'm saying is that I don't think Bryce Young is going to step in there and immediately take the helm. I really don't feel like he got enough playtime over this past year.
Gotcha.
I feel like there were plenty of times they could have put – now, if you go back and you look at the year before whenever Mac Jones played and Tua played, right, you saw that Mac Jones got a lot of playtime, and so you could really get a feel for what you had there. There were plenty of games Mac Jones could have came out of and Bryce Young could have went in and played. How many attempts do you think Bryce Young had the entire season?
10. I mean, even 1 is better more than my backup, but I'd say 10.
So Bryce Young had 22 attempts and 13 completions for a completion percentage of 59.1%. Out of the 22 attempts that he threw the ball, he had 6 sacks. Not mobile. Mac Jones had 13 sacks all season.
Now, here's my question. When Mac Jones went in, was the starters in?
When Bryce Young went in, you mean? I'm sure
when Bryce Young
went in.
Like, was Smith, Waddle, the rest of Najee all in? Because if so, 59, that's not good.
Well, okay, so let me do this. Let me jump back to 2019 when Tua played, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Tua played in 2019. Mac Jones threw 141 times. Guess how many times he was sacked?
Mac
Jones. Not last year before, 2019.
I have no idea.
Twice. Out of 141 attempts, he threw for 1,500 yards, was sacked twice. Bryce Young comes in. Bryce Young passes 22 times and gets sacked 6 times. He's not fast enough. He's not big enough. I'm sorry. Just not.
I got you.
Mac Jones 6'3". He's 6'3". I'm sorry. Alabama's offensive line is huge. They're huge. These guys bent over with their hands stuck in the ground. They're going to have to get a step stool for this guy to see over them. And that's probably why he didn't put him in.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, my only argument with all that is who the coach is. He'll make it work somehow.
I'm not saying that he can't be good, but I'm not saying he's going to. I'm telling you right now, he is not going to step in there and have a 70% completion rating like the quarterbacks before him. He's not going to run for 1,000 yards. I mean, the first thing that they say on his recruiting report is on a scale from 1 to 10, his size is a 6. His speed is a 7.
I got you. I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from.
All right, so let's look at a couple of guys here, right? Tua was 6 foot. Jalen was 6'1". And I know people don't understand this, but I'm going to tell you there is a mile of difference between 5'11" and 6 foot.
Yeah.
You're talking about an additional inch in height, and you're usually talking about 2 to 4 more inches in wingspan in your arms, how much power you can generate, and all that good stuff. I mean, Alabama's basically saying that they believe this guy is so much of a surgeon that they can make it work. Mac Jones was a surgeon, but Mac Jones could run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and there's been numerous quarterbacks over the years that were really talented, that were short. I mean, but you got to look back all the way to 2015, right?
Uh-huh.
Alabama had quarterback Jake Coker, right? This guy's stats was 66, 67% completion rating. He threw for 3,000 yards. That's the last quarterback that they've had there besides Jalen, Tua, and Mac. 6 years, they've had 3 quarterbacks. And Mac Jones really only played as a starter for 1 year, and then he went pro.
Right.
Jalen was a starter for 3 years, 16, 17, 18. And then at the end of 18, it ended up swapping out and being Tua and him back and forth, whatever. And then 18, 19 was Tua. 20 is Mac Jones. And then you're talking about, bringing this guy in. I don't know, man. I don't know. Christopher Hadley says, "Come on, man, the hate, laughing out loud." I don't hate the guy. I do not hate the guy. I haven't seen him enough to hate him. I will tell you this: if he performs like he has performed so far, I'm happy they got him, because then when we play him, I'm not playing against Mac Jones. I'm not playing against a Joe Burrow. I'm not playing against a Trevor Lawrence. I'm not playing against Johnny Manziel. I'm not playing against those guys. I'm playing against an AJ McCarron. I'm fine with that. I would rather play that guy than play Joe Burrow. Not hating him. I'm cheering him on.
No, I mean, I hope you're right. I really do. For the same reasons you just said. I just feel like if he's going to Alabama, he got recruited to Alabama, there's something they see in him.
Listen, I understand guy was Georgia lost to AJ McCarron, but Mark Richt lost to AJ McCarron. So we'll put it like that. They're saying Paul Tyson. Who's Paul Tyson?
Is it Mike's older brother? I have no idea.
I don't see a Paul Tyson. Who are they talking about? Is he a recruit? Is he somebody who was recruited last year? Yeah, apparently he's signed with 6'5".
Jeez.
Well, I guess we know what happened to Bryce Young.
6'5".
They didn't bother putting him in because they wasn't going to play him.
Good Lord. I got to watch his highlights. I got to check this guy out. I've never heard of him.
Hey, what's going on, KC? What's going on, Reasonable Gump? Rodney Quills. I think I saw you earlier, sir. Who's this up here? Chris Kennedy, how you doing, sir? Make sure I didn't miss anybody in the chat. I'm just telling you, I don't have any ill will towards Mac Jones Jr. Between Bryce too young to ride the roller coaster. I don't have any ill will towards this guy, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you gave me a choice between a 5-star that was 5'11" and a high 4-star that's 6'5", guess which one I'm going to take?
Yeah, no, I get that. Trust me, there's a reason earlier I said if it's not him, who would it be? I had no idea. All right, so let's go to another quarterback then. With Brock coming in next year, is Brock going to be second string, or is it still going to be Carson?
I have a strong – so this is my take on the quarterback situation at UGA right now. So you got JT Daniels at the helm. JT Daniels said they have unfinished business. I absolutely believe him that he's coming back. Then you've got Carson Beck, who has been playing with the second string, playing with the backups. You know, that's what he's been doing all season. I think he's handed off, more than he's done anything else. But he's been there. He's been exposed to the system. He's been exposed to the speed. He has. I would find it tremendously unlikely, highly unlikely, that they would put Brock Vandergriff in over Carson Beck. Carson Beck, not a bad player. He's a 4-star ranked quarterback. But at the end of the day, how about ESPN list Gunnar Stockton as a 4-star? I just saw that.
That's why you check 24/7.
Yeah, that's the ESPN. They hate Georgia. They honestly hate Georgia. I'm telling you right now, they hate Georgia.
All right. Well, that means let's say Carson's your second string. Do you think he stays the starter 2022? That's the question, because JT will be gone. Then you're looking at fresh face Gunner coming in, Brock with 1 year on the bench, and then I almost said Stetson. Carson sitting there with a little bit of experience coming out for 2021.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the starter for 2022 then?
I would say Vandergriff.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't ever think Carson gets an actual start? He just is a good second stringer for right now.
He'll transfer. I'm pretty sure he'll transfer.
Yeah.
Unless he lights it up, he's going to transfer.
So then it just comes down to Gunner versus Brock.
Now I'm gonna tell you right now, there's things I like about Brock and there's things I like about Gunner. Okay.
Yeah.
There's certainly a ginger QB coming to UGA. Who you call which ginger? Brock's blonde and Gunner's brunette. So I don't know which he's talking about. I'm with you on that, Chris. I feel the same way. So what you're looking at is that I think Brock has a bigger arm. I think Brock can really throw a football. Accurate, deep ball. But Gunner is a true dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
And the guy is built like a tank. For those of you who don't know, Brock Vandergriff right now is much bigger than Bryce Young. He's 6'1", 220 pounds right now and runs like a running back. When I tell you that his stats are ridiculous, let me throw them out there for you. Brock Vandergriff, total passing yards, and he still has his senior season to play. He's at 9,518 yards right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's at 122 passing touchdowns right now and only 16 interceptions over 3 seasons. His average accuracy is 68%. That is elite. And that's not just one season. That's over all 3 seasons.
Right.
Now, that is impressive. But it becomes more impressive when I tell you that in his sophomore year, he rushed for 1,100 yards and 19 touchdowns.
Yeah, that is insane.
What's even more insane is that in his junior year, this past year, he played in 14 games. He ran the ball 191 times, ran for 1,581 yards, averaged 8.3 a carry, averaged 112 yards a game, 10 games with over 100 yards in a game, and 26 rushing touchdowns. Oh, and he only threw 4 interceptions all season.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be hard for him not to start eventually. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's one of those things. It's so many blessings. You feel like something bad could happen. You know what I mean?
So here's what I'm looking at. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Brock Vandergriff. Brock Vandergriff has some great numbers. The guy has, he's like JT Daniels. He's got video game numbers, right?
Yeah, he can sling it.
Right. But there's a problem. You know what it is?
My guess is the conference he plays in high school.
It is the conference he plays in high school. He plays in a private conference. So, and yes, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I was joking. Brock Vandergriff is redheaded, just so you know. Brock Vandergriff plays at a private school. So the schools that he plays against are mostly private schools. So this tends to make you question the stat package, right?
Yeah.
So in 4 seasons, this is 4 seasons, not 3, but 4, he's thrown for 10,000 yards, right? 107 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. So far, Gunner's numbers are a little better. The rushing is not even comparable. He carried the ball 104 times. He only got 500 yards, averaging 4.5 a carry. He's had 17 rushing touchdowns this past season, which is almost 10 less than Gunner. So to me, whenever you pair that with the fact that he's from a private school, yes, we want this guy. He threw for his senior year, he threw for right at 4,200 yards, right? His freshman year, he played in 14 games. I think he was getting used to it. He's a freshman. He threw for 267 yards, but the last 3 seasons have looked really good. Senior season, almost 4,200 yards, completion percentage of 70%, averaging 16.5, 46 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Really solid numbers there, right?
Oh, yeah.
But when I look at Gunner Stockton, I mean,
he's doing it at the right level.
Man, he is consistent across the whole board. He's playing in a real conference, and he's got some size on him, man. 6'1", 220. If you get a chance, go watch his tape.
Yeah.
And watch him first. Watch Gunner Stockton first, and then watch Brock Vandergriff. And then tell me which one you think is the best. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I look at Gunner and I'll go, the guy runs down the field. He looks like Chubb. I'm not joking. The way he runs with his chest reared back, his head up, and that short stroke, that's how he runs. It runs over people. He ain't scared to get hit. Now that's going to change when he gets to high school. I mean, when he gets to college, they're going to be like, dude, no. We got running backs for that.
Yep.
No.
But no, I get your worry with the whole private school. I mean, it's kind of like boxing. It's, you give the guy a bunch of cupcakes, and then let's just throw them right to the big guys and see what happens.
Now, I'm not saying that you should detract everything away from the guy, because there were several games where they scored 70 points. I think there was one game it was 70-0 or 73-0, something ridiculous. I mean, it reminded you of East Mississippi Community College over there. You're just crushing everybody by 100 points. That's what it looked like, right? Watching Brock Vandergriff play. I don't know how he's going to perform against real competition. Yeah. I think Gunner has that mentality of, I know what it's like to play against real competition and get hit. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Crimson Brave says something. What do you say here?
0 spring it all.
Crimson Brave do what against Kentucky? Throw his singular touchdown reason? Are they? No, they're talking amongst themselves. Okay. Dennis Wilson said, "I can't wait to chop an elephant down in Atlanta." Man, you ain't the only one.
It'd just be nice. That'd be so nice to finally get that W.
Would you trade a win over Alabama? Would you take a loss? How about this? Would you take a loss to Alabama in the SEC championship, have Alabama lose in the playoff, and then UGA win the Natty? Would you take that?
Man, I mean, I won't. And then can you just take a foot and us win the Natty?
Nope. You got it. Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama's got to beat Georgia.
I'll take that deal.
Georgia. You take that deal?
Yeah, I'll take that deal.
Would you take it the other way around though?
No. To me, right now, with the team going in this year, it's Natty or bust.
I'm just saying, would you take it? Would you take a win over Alabama if it meant not getting a national championship?
No, because then it was for nothing, in my opinion.
I just want to see where you was at, man. I just want to see where you was at. It's all good.
All you could do is go, "Hey, our coach finally beat his old ball coach." That's all you get. I don't get a new T-shirt that says national championships or something for my wall.
Man, I will make a T-shirt. I will put it on Teespring tomorrow that says "We beat Bama."
I get that, man. But if there's one Georgia fan that would take that deal, I don't know if you're a real Georgia fan. We need the Natty more than anything.
I don't know. There's some Georgia fans that hate Alabama out there.
I get it, man. But God, no, I'll take the Natty.
Oh man. All right, I want to ask you a question here.
All
right. Apparently, this was an article that was posted on Dog Nation. Gunnar Stockton getting to know the elite 2022 quarterback who will unleash hell on a football field. Have you ever seen a title like that?
No. Not from somebody like Dog Nation or Dog Post.
Isn't that crazy?
That's great. That looks like if I was to do a tweet. Like, I can't believe they did that as a title.
They posted that 22 months ago.
Jeez.
Think about that now. Think about that.
Yeah, he was going to South Carolina at the time, and they had that kind of hype. Man.
According to Rabun County staff, they were told by Clemson he was number 1 on their board for 2022. You heard me.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I looked this up earlier. Gunnar Stockton was being chased by Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and 20-something other schools.
Everybody trying to get tickets to the gun show.
Yes, sir. And guess what? He picked South freaking Carolina. I just want to know how big was that McDonald's bag?
Well, it could be that, or it goes back to maybe Brock is our guy because this guy's decision making is not that great.
Who?
Gunner, if that was his choice over 30-something schools.
I don't know. I think there was more to that than we ever found out, man. For those of you that's wondering what I'm doing, I'm putting beard oil in.
Your pomade?
No, sir. I got the real stuff, man.
I got you.
It's
You're
homemade.
a dapper damn man.
I ain't no fop. I don't want no fop. I'm a dapper Dan man.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be good to see, man, because I feel like no matter where the ball falls for us in 2022, we're going to be okay at quarterback.
I agree with that. I'm excited to see what JT Daniels can do, given Todd Monken a complete offseason to kind of wrangle up everything. Yeah. If you didn't know, Mike Bobo's father taught Gunner how to throw a football. Bobo got him, or he was already committed to South Carolina before Bobo. Bobo, I don't think got him. I think that was part of the allure of going there. But what I really think is that when Bobo left and went to Auburn, he looked at Auburn's football program and he went, nope. I don't want to play for Alabama in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So then we brought him on home. That's what it was. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm kind of excited to watch this Tyson kid just because I want to see a 6'5" quarterback sling it. So I might watch some of the highlights today.
Yeah, you are, huh? Also, let me check something here. Let's look at. I'll tell you what. Let's look at something right here since they've already released the. I want to look at Clemson's 2020 football schedule.
I know they have one hard game.
Hold on. God almighty, I got diabetes already. Look at all these cupcakes. My God. They only got one hard team to play. That's it. Let me read the schedule to you. You ready? This a damn joke.
You ain't got to read the week 1 loss. That's fine. You can skip it.
We'll give them just get that week one loss to Georgia out of the way. Let's jump over to South Carolina, right?
Yep.
South Carolina State Bulldogs. Okay, they'll beat them. They'll beat Georgia Tech next week. Week after that, they play North Carolina State Wolfpack.
Win.
September 25th. October 2nd, they play Boston College Eagles. Win. They'll take Saturday off. They'll struggle with Syracuse for 1 quarter and then dominate them. That's October 15th. Then they'll play Pitt October 23rd. They'll beat them. Florida State. Can we swap schedules? My God. Florida State. If you took the worst teams you could find and cram them into a conference, it would be the ACC right now.
Yeah.
Louisville. Then they play Louisville. Then they play the UConn Huskies. Then they play Wake Forest. And then they play half of a football team and a third of a football staff of South Carolina.
So you're telling me, well, we know Notre Dame not going to be on there because they just went to go use that conference and get out. That's fine. But the only other team that even seems like it would give up any kind of competition is Miami and Derek King, and they don't even have to play them that year?
They don't have to play them.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. If they lose week 1 with that schedule and everybody else is doing regular, maybe one loss here or there, do they even make the playoffs? Because strength of schedule, now that it's no more, it's no longer just all conference, strength of schedule is coming back into play.
Absolutely. So,
and I think that's going to bite them.
So let's look at I want to look at Oklahoma Sooners 2021 schedule, right? This is all very early talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they play the Tulane Wave. Then they play the Western Carolina Catamounts. I don't even know what the hell a catamount is. My God. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, the Baylor Bears, Kansas Jayhawks, Kansas State Wildcats, the Iowa State Cyclones. That may end up being an interesting game. I'm going to hold reserve on that. Then they play TCU. They'll win that. They've won all these games except maybe the Iowa State. Then they play they play the Red Raiders at Texas Tech. Then they play West Virginia. Then they play the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and then they play the Longhorns. So they got 2 games in there maybe to worry about.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back and look at, we'll just say Ohio State, right? And Ohio State. Okay. So they start out with the Golden Gophers. Okay, they'll win that game. Oregon Ducks, they may struggle there.
Yeah.
Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, they'll beat them. Akron Zips, they'll beat them. Nebraska Cornhuskers will beat themselves before they get there. Purdue Boilermakers, they should do fine there. Rutgers, they should do fine there. Michigan State is one of those teams, man, they either show up and blast people or they just get blown out.
Yeah.
The Hoosiers from Indiana. Maryland Terrapins, right? So I'm actually kind of a quasi Terrapin fan. I've watched those guys play, and that first year they came out and they played against Texas and beat them. I was like, dang, look at here. But then again, it's Texas, so I don't think Maryland's going to have anything for them. Penn State, I don't know if Penn State's going to have anything for anybody. Penn State's one of those teams that's like Michigan. You look at them and you're like, yeah, you guys are going to do fine. And then they get out there and play and you're like, man, you guys are terrible. They lost the first 5 games of the season and then won the last 4.
Yeah, it was bad. I remember.
They beat Michigan. They beat Rutgers, beat Michigan
A lot
State.
of teams beat Michigan.
Right. Well, true that. But if you look back and you're playing against Jim Harbaugh, right? Michigan only won 2 games last season, right? So I don't really see any of these teams really giving Ohio State a hard time. Michigan's not going to do it. And then they got the Big Ten championship. So if somebody from like Purdue or Oregon steps up, that's going to be the only ones that can do anything, in my opinion.
Yeah.
How did Oregon do last year? Just in case you wanted to know, answer was they did okay. They beat Stanford. They beat Washington State. They beat UCLA. They lost to the Beavers. They lost to the Bears. They canceled a game against the Huskies. They beat the USC Trojans in the Pac-12 championship game. And then they lost to the Iowa State Cyclones. So like I said, Iowa State might be the only other ones besides Oregon to give Ohio State a football game.
Yeah.
So
I haven't heard one tough schedule yet.
No, you haven't. So let me get, it really depends on the team, doesn't it?
Can you go to an SEC schedule so we can hear at least a good schedule?
Sure. Give me a second here. You know what? Let's just do a, if this pulls. Nope, that didn't pull. Oh, maybe it didn't. Yeah, it did. Hold on. Okay. So we're gonna look at one of my favorite football teams from the West, Auburn.
Okay.
And in case you didn't know what Auburn stands for, if you're one of those people in the show here and you didn't know what Auburn stands for, I'm gonna tell you. Auburn stands for Alabama usually beats us round November. So that's what Auburn stands for. So if we look at Auburn's schedule for this coming up year, they play the Akron Zips as their kickoff game.
That's a good way to start the year.
Alabama State Hornets. Penn State Nittany Lions. Zippity Nips. Then they play the Georgia State Panthers. They play 4 cupcakes in a row.
Yeah.
Then they play LSU. LSU might beat them.
I think LSU will beat them. I don't know if there's a might, man. Bo Nix is starting. I got LSU.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Then they play Georgia a week after LSU. So LSU is going to go in there and beat them up. Georgia's going to go in there and beat them up. And then, believe it or not, I think Arkansas might have a shot at this. They play them the next week.
I agree.
The week after that, they play the high-powered offense of Ole Miss Rebels. They're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Guess who they have the week after that? Texas A&M. The same team that a lot of people were upset that they didn't get their shot at a playoff, and I can understand why. Texas A&M was a good football club last year. Almost all of those guys are coming back. I think Kellen Mond's gone, but he really wasn't what was holding that team together, my opinion. Mississippi State. They'll probably beat Mississippi State, but Mississippi State's one of those teams that can sneak up on you if you're not careful. Then they play South Carolina. They should win that game, and then they round off on November 27th with Alabama. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 losses, but at least 4.
Well, you also going on that Mississippi State game, you got to see what the record is and how defeated that team's going to be going into that game.
Yep. So
Sean Stapleton said Bama got the toughest schedule. Nobody feels bad for Bama.
Sorry, let's look up Alabama. I want to see what they got.
All right.
I want to see what they got. They got Hurricanes week 1.
Okay.
No sympathy there, sir. You should beat that team handily. Because If last year's Clemson could beat the hell out of Miami, Alabama certainly can.
Yeah.
Mercer Bears. Come on, buddy. Florida. Y'all will be playing a week 3 Emory Jones. Not concerned. Then you play the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Now, there's a real chance to not score at least 30 points over your competitor. Ole Miss Rebels. They gave Alabama a little bit of a fit last year. Will be, but should still beat Ole Miss. Texas A&M, good football club. They might have a chance here. Mississippi State, you'll crush them. Week after that, Tennessee Vols, you'll crush them. Week after that, LSU, you'll beat them soundly. New Mexico State Aggies. What? I'm going to read you some of the teams that New Mexico State plays. The UTEP Miners, the San Diego State Aztecs.
Yeah.
The New Mexico Lobos. You're not ready for this next name, I promise you. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Didn't we beat them? What was it? Was it a Sugar Bowl years back?
Yeah. The San Jose State Spartans. How come all these cities are states? That's like saying the Atlanta State Goats or something. Nevada Wolfpack. The Dixie State Trailblazers.
That I haven't heard before.
I think there's a typo on here. Actually, I'm not sure this is a typo. Maybe it is. But at Hawaii Rainbow Warriors at the Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, they got on there twice, so it's got to be a mistake.
Yeah.
Then they got the Utah State Aggies. They play Kentucky, UMass, and Alabama. That's the teams that New Mexico State plays. Clearly, that schedule is loaded with stiff competition. Then they've got the Arkansas Razorbacks and then the Auburn Tigers. I don't really feel like this is a difficult schedule for Alabama.
No, not a team of that caliber. Like you said, man, Ole Miss would be the game I circle.
Yeah,
especially with freshman quarterback coming in first time, having a Lane's offense.
Yep,
that'd probably be the one I circle for the year.
Absolutely. Well, I'd circle that one and Texas A&M. Like I for real would.
I mean, 10-year starter Kellen Mond. He's got something.
Mm-hmm. He's been there longer than he's been there long enough to get 5 degrees. So, all right, let's see who else out there you think may have a tough schedule next year.
Somebody put earlier Notre Dame. I look at Notre Dame's schedule. I saw that. Chris Kennedy said that.
Okay. All right, here's the Notre Dame schedule. The Seminoles.
That win.
That's a win. The Toledo Red Rockets.
Okay. I'd be more worried about that than the Seminoles.
The Red Rocket, yep. The Purdue Boilermakers.
Okay.
The Wisconsin Badgers. I know somebody is dying to say that this is a good football team. They scored 6 points against the Indiana Hoosiers. They scored 7 points against Northwestern Wildcats. They scored 7 points against the Iowa Hawkeyes. They scored 20 points and had to get to overtime to beat the Minnesota Golden Gophers. So no, not a tough team, sir. Cincinnati Bearcats. Now that's
a game.
There may be a game there. Virginia Tech Hokies. Let me think about it. Let me think about that one. That may end up being an interesting game, but Notre Dame should still beat them.
Yeah.
USC Trojans, that may be a good game.
I think it's an L.
North Carolina Tar Heels, that may be an L.
Yep.
This may be, and then they got Stanford at the end here, but I mean, I don't
That's
know.
a pretty fair schedule.
Yeah, that's pretty fair schedule. I would be okay with saying that that's probably one of the tougher schedules. I think Stanford has got a good ball club. I think they've been pretty consistent. They've played a lot of close games, but they've stayed in them. They could have won 5 out of the 7 or 6 games they played.
Yeah.
So, and then Notre Dame's got the Virginia Cavaliers. I think the Cavs were pretty decent last year, weren't they? Or am I missing something?
I don't think so.
I thought they were pretty good. Let me check. So hard to know. They were so. They went like 50%, maybe a little less. But yeah, I mean, I can see why that would be a reasonable schedule to say, hey, this is one of the tougher in college football right now.
Yeah.
Now, I would tell you who I think's got the toughest schedule in all of college football right now as far as the power conferences go.
Who's that?
Tennessee.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. The schedule's tough, and that team's gonna have some issues.
You ever seen
Virginia Tech went 5 and 6.
You ever seen that that movie Dodgeball? He goes,
yeah,
they're really good, and you suck something awful. that's the talk that the old AD had with Jeremy Pruitt.
Pretty much.
So they do start out with Bowling Green Falcons, then they play Pitt, then they play the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, and then they play Florida, Missouri, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Alabama, Kentucky. I think Kentucky will beat them this year. Yep. Then they play Georgia. Then they play the South Alabama Jaguars, and then it's a fight to the death with Vanderbilt. And I wouldn't be surprised if Vanderbilt beats them. Oh my goodness! Look who showed up. What's going on, Vernon? Vernon Speaks Sports. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Hadn't seen you in a while. I was reading the stats. I wasn't even looking at the chat, man. For those of you who like the flip side of the coin, go check out Vernon Speaks Sports. He does a lot of good football content. Unfortunately, it is on Auburn. But if you like that kind of thing, feel free to go check him out. If you are a Georgia or Alabama fan and you want the inside track on what your enemy is doing, go check out his show. He'll tell you all about the inner workings of Auburn. We need to get you back on the show, Vernon. We need to talk about what you guys think of the new coaching staff and all the changes going on over there, man. Cavs are out recruiting Virginia Tech. Yes, they are. Oh, Sarah's in the chat. How you doing, Sarah? I'm sorry I missed you. How are you doing, hon? Oh, she's been in here for a minute, dude. I've been completely ignoring the chat, trying to read these stats. Vernon, hope my Sooners get Big Cat Bryant. I hope they don't, man. I hope they don't. Big Cat Bryant is from Crisp County. Crisp County is one county over from the county that I grew up in, and I just have to call her my sister-in-law because it's too complicated to explain any other way. She used to teach at the school that he played at, so she was really in tune with him. I hate that he went to Auburn. Would love to see him come back to Georgia. That's a heck of a football player. He pancakes people, dude. He's an excellent lineman. Whew, man, are we an hour 12 in already? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I was looking up real quick to see if there's been any news on Gilbert, but still nothing.
He said that he's not going to sign until last minute. So
I know you know with these kids, you always see some kind of detail out there, like, "Hey, I'm over, talking with this person right now."
So we were talking about this the other day. I think what he's doing, I think he's waiting to see what all the coaching changes are.
Yeah.
Before he kind of makes his pick. Twitter's been extremely silent. Some of the talk has been out there about him staying at LSU, and the reason for that, the reason I say that is because they haven't cut off his financial aid. They want him to try and stay. So typically once a player enters the transfer portal, they cut off financial aid. So LSU's been in contact with him as he goes through things that go beyond football, as what the quotations were. Basically, all he said is that he was interested in Tennessee, but now that Jerry Pruitt has been fired, that probably won't be an option for him. Georgia may be where he goes, but there's some people thinking that he's still going to stay with LSU.
I don't think Pruitt was the reason, man. I just don't think the kid likes McDonald's.
It's okay. There wasn't any in the bag. What's in the bag, Lebowski?
I'll tell you what, that McDonald's Tennessee thing will probably never leave for the next 5 years. We're cheating it.
I remember what happened. Okay, so for those of you that have made it this far in the stream, I want to share something with you guys that happened to me not too long ago. So I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it. See this? This is my wedding band now.
Nice.
The one that I had, which was a tungsten carbide, I dropped it. And I think I was on the phone with Wes when it happened. And it hit the floor and broke. It shattered. So I'm in the market for a new ring. So if you guys happen to know anybody, let me know. I had to go buy this because my hand felt naked without it. I didn't like walking around without a wedding ring on, but I'm probably going to end up buying another one here really soon.
Go to Groove Life.
Go to where?
Groove Life.
Groove Life.
So I got my tungsten one in the house, and then I got my silver one. Then I went and found Groove Life, which is those rubber ones you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
But they're lifetime warranty. Even if you lose it or throw it away, they'll send you another one for free. And they got Georgia. So I mean,
yeah,
that's the route I went.
I want to have something that's a little more traditional to what my original wedding band was, but I may get one of those for when I'm out doing outdoor activities and whatnot. Because I would take my ring off when I was working on cars or stuff like that. But yeah, I guess Vernon must have dipped out before I had a chance to respond. I'll have to go hit him up on his channel, man. He's good. He's a good dude, man. I've been on his show before. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I like it. He's got a great show.
I just wish I could get him to see the light, man.
You remember how earlier today when we were talking, you're like, not all mistakes are temporary. Not all are, Brett. Some you gotta let go.
So not everything's a lost cause. Wait a second. Now, there's the one that proves the rule, right?
Yep.
So I got to trim my beard back up. I'm starting to get that hump at the bottom.
Yep. I
got to get rid of that. I don't like it. Got some big things coming up down the pipe for me, guys. I will tell you about it after it is official. I'll leave the teaser at that. But do me a favor. I know it's off season. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. If you guys want me to continue to do the live shows weekly, let me know. If you're watching this and you're not watching it live, if you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment on if you want me to continue doing live shows during the off season. Because honestly, guys, there is sometimes not very much content out there, and so it is either you jump on and you make a quick video to cover what little bit is there, or you try to save up and do it at the end of a week or in the middle of a week. I want to get you guys' opinion on that, and I'm going to start doing schedule previews for some of the major teams. We kind of talked a little bit about some tonight, but I got to really dig in and do some more homework and some research on that. Also, don't forget to go check us out at the Third and a Mile podcast. You can follow us over on Twitter. You should change your name to the podcast Twitter handle.
That's a good point. Just Third and a Mile podcast. You can find it.
Yeah, Third and a Mile podcast. Not hard to find. So go follow us over there. Similar content, but it's going to be different. It's really going to be designed for a podcast type format. Other than that, guys, let us know what you want to see. We're going to continue to develop the channel, build the channel, make stuff better for you guys. I'm also thinking about doing a segment on the show that talks about the equipment that I use, how I get what I got going on, the look, how much it costs. So if there's other people out there that are watching my channel that are interested in kind of the setup and how I got to where I'm at and you ready for this? How to actually build a YouTube channel on a for real budget. There's guys out there that say best budget camera for YouTube streaming. You're like, all right, cool. And then you pull it up and it's like, yeah, this camera's a really good deal at $599. What kind of damn budget you got, cuz? Because that's not a budget. That's not a budget. I've had cars that didn't cost $599, man.
This was a budget. I'll keep this.
Yeah. If you want to know how to do it on the cheap, I got you. You know what? I could probably have 100 million subscribers telling them how to do a YouTube channel on the cheap. And I probably could also do a couple of channels on how to do some video editing software.
Yeah, I think you could. Trust me. Anytime I got a question, I'm like, hey, Brett.
All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it for me. We've run on about an hour and a half here. It's after 11 o'clock. I can't believe you guys are still here. I really appreciate that. I'm still trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. Really need you guys' help. It's really hard to do in the off season. Don't forget to share, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell us what you want to see here in the show during the off season. We'll be glad to do it. Hopefully pretty soon we'll have some baseball stuff to go over as well, but don't think that we're not going to cover football. We're still going to cover football. We're just going to add in baseball as kind of a second staple here. So really appreciate you guys being here. Trenches, you got anything else?
No, man. Just check out the podcast. And if you guys get a chance, check out my YouTube channel, Between the Trenches.
Yep. Check out Between the Trenches over on YouTube. He's really starting to get that up and going. He actually does a show with another guy. This guy's named Rodney, right?
Yeah, he was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, Rodney's a good dude. Go check him out. We'll hopefully see you guys pretty soon. Trenches, stick around after I shut it down, sir.
I got you.
You guys, thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate the support. It means a lot to me. Can't tell you how much I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Oh, and by the way, do me a favor. Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.